What is going on, everybody? So in today's video we're going to be doing a little unboxing. Got a package that came in the mail today and I'm super excited to check this out. So let's get unboxing. Package here. We have a couple of cards that are here. We have a thank you card. We have a fragrance note card with some of the describing some of the notes. So here is a thank you card. Thank you for purchasing Mmasi fragrance and investing in yourself. Smelling good makes you feel good, and that's a form of self-love, self-care, and we want you to know that you are worthy of love and luxury just as you are. On this side here, you have a QR code that you can scan. As I'm holding it here, you can connect with them on social media at Mmasi brand, on Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, YouTube, as well as Pinterest. Smelling good is self-love. And here embellished is the Mmasi logo. Very nice, very simple and concise logo. Love that. And here is the CEO and co-founder, Dr. Chiamaka. Self-love at MMasibrand.com, as well as their website. And another QR code to access that information as well. So far, very organized, very informative. And inside of our packaging here, we have our fragrances. So we're going to carefully just take our blade and get this open here. And here we are met with 2 10 mLs Mmasi into me for her as well as for him. So we're going to try out the into me for her. And you got a really nice matte white bottle here with a gold atomizer. Really nice presentation on it. The atomizer spray. Really nice fine mist. Really nice and fine mist, how it hits that skin. Just really clean. The notes for this fragrance is almond, bergamot, Jamaican coffee bean, French vanilla, tuberose, jasmine, Indian rose, patchouli, cashmere, cocoa, tonka bean, as well as sandalwood. Now when I smell this, oh man, that is, I get hit with like this full, dense, it's sweet, it's nutty, it's smooth, it has like this sappy, almost like sappy sweetness going on. It puts you in the mindset of like almost like a honey, but like a deep honey. It's not real high pitched sweet. It's more dark and dense with the sweetness. The coffee bean, the cocoa, the almond, the tonka bean, accompanied with that patchouli, the French vanilla, all comes together, works together well, and just creates this really, it's almost gourmand. It's like nearly there. It is not as like playful as some gourmands are. This one has like that DNA of a gourmand fragrance, but there are some components that keeps it from being completely gourmand. Beautiful though. This is a really rich, sticky, dripping kind of a richness. I can't really describe it. It's not overly sweet. You can tell there's a lot of sweetness here, or it's a lot of, it's really hard to describe. It's almost like if you have a lot of honey on something, but the honey isn't as sweet as it normally would be, but there's still a lot of the honey. Everything comes together and creates this beautiful, musky, dense, sappy, earthy. It's sweet, but that isn't going to take over anything. That's not what you notice at first. The sweetness is accompanying the other aspects of it, but it's not taking over anything. It's so beautiful. Everything works together so well. You're going to get some of that chocolate vibe from that cocoa, as well as that patchouli is going to come in and give you a nice sort of really dry and earthy form of a chocolate sort of vibe. The Jamaican coffee bean is going to come in, sit right alongside it, and just give you like this nice airy, dry musk. It's dense, but it's not damp. It's not super saturating. but it's a really dense, dry, earthy musk, and like this dry, earthy sweetness with the patchouli and the cocoa. You're gonna get like a smooth sweetness that comes in with that French vanilla. The almond's gonna give you a little bit of sweetness as well. The almond gives you like this nuttiness as soon as you spray it. It gives you this nutty vibe, and everything is so pleasant. Those florals are gonna come in as a great support. With coffee done the right way, florals can come in and really just elevate that note, or vice versa, and that coffee could really elevate those florals. When you see fragrances like Cafe Rose or Cafe Intense and things like that, and you got a coffee accompanied by some florals, you see that happening a lot, and it can really complement each other if it's done the right way. You get like a sweet and almost juicy, like a semi-juicy rose. The rose isn't as dry and as typical as you would have thought. Comes in like slightly damp. The rose comes in slightly damp with just a little bit of playfulness. I want to refresh this one more time to just catch it right as it opens up. And then you catch that bergamot, and honestly you catch the bergamot and the florals right as it opens up. As it sits for a few seconds, then you get that almond comes in with some of those sweeter components accompanying that almond. Almost smells like a honey. Then those darker elements come in a little bit more. The coffee bean comes up, the patchouli comes up, the cocoa comes up a little bit more, as well as the tonka bean. This is beautiful, beautifully done, beautifully blended, masterfully blended fragrance. And that is Into Me for her. For me, this fragrance, I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. I would have wanted just a little bit more coffee, but this is a first impressions, so this could change. We'll come back and revisit this in about a week or so and get our full thoughts on how this performs. But right now, about a 9 out of 10. That is a solid fragrance. Perfect for the fall, perfect for the winter. That is beautiful day night fragrance, close encounters. This doesn't seem like there's something that's going to shoot off and project a whole lot, but it does seem like it's going to be something that has just a nice scent bubble that's going to stay close and last for a great duration of the day. I could imagine this having a great amount of longevity. Next up, Into Me for him. You got the same presentation, the nice matte white bottle, which I absolutely love, and the gold atomizer on this one. Spray this on this arm. And this fragrance features notes of bergamot, Sicilian lime, pink pepper, cocktail grapefruit, jasmine, watermelon, Indian ginger, sandalwood, amber, patchouli, as well as cedarwood. They really did a great job at capturing a truly masculine scent. This is giving me like a more adventurous style of a barbershop type of scent. I'm getting that freshness, I'm getting that slight roll and that sparkle from that pink pepper. You're catching those citruses, but they're not as attention grabbing as you would have thought in the opening. You're getting the citruses in here, but they all kind of come together and form one unison note, like right when you spray it, and it just comes off with just this unison sort of vibe of freshness. And that pink pepper is an anchor in this particular fragrance. It seemed like it is holding so many other notes and supporting so many other notes without it standing out and becoming too obnoxious. This pink pepper in here is feeling more and giving me more of like an anchor sort of a vibe. The watermelon comes in just slightly, and there's like this little bit of saltiness that's present that sits right alongside that watermelon that is really nice. Gives it like a slight metallic tinge, but just like really slight. It's not a metallic scent in any way, but that watermelon comes in and just adds just a slight metallic sort of vibe. It kind of reminds me of the way, I want to say there's wheat and watermelon in Abercrombie and Fitch Fierce. It reminds me of the way that that's done, if I'm not mistaken. I want to say that there's watermelon and wheat in that particular fragrance, and it reminds me of that. It reminds me of how that watermelon is done. Like I said, when I was describing that pink pepper, I was mentioning like this rolling sort of sparkliness. There's some ginger in here as well, so that's gonna also have a play on like this sort of sparkly, fuzzy sort of vibe. Then you get the amber and that cedarwood, the sandalwood comes in and just adds like a really nice, slightly warm, somewhat sharp, dry base. Perfect fragrance. This too, I can also see being worn in the fall and winter. I don't really see these in spring, summer. And to be perfectly honest, the for her and for him that is listed on here, to me, honestly, doesn't really apply. These two seem like they can be very much so interchangeable, or I would say the one for her seem like it would be interchangeable. The one for the men, it does lean a bit more masculine, but I don't feel that this leans feminine. This one sits sort of perfectly right in that middle. You get a beautiful scent that doesn't seem too pretty or too perfume like. It doesn't seem like it's leaning to cater to the feminine side. This one seems like it's very much so neutral and that anybody can enjoy this one. Everything that happened with this one I actually like more than the guys. Like I said, the one for him smells good. You get like this woody, sharp, fresh musk. You get like this watermelon, like this little hint of that watermelon. You're getting some freshness up top with those citruses. That pink pepper is going to accompany those. You're going to get like this slight saltiness with that watermelon that reminds me so much of the Abercrombie and Fierce and how they did theirs. I want to say it's Fierce Intense, if I'm not mistaken, and how they did that watermelon and wheat combo. I want to say, but I could be off. Yeah, it's so weird. It's so familiar. It's giving me like an Abercrombie Fitch and Fierce Intense, or like a Bleu de Chanel. It's something in it that reminds me of that. What I love is just the attention to detail. And just being able to clearly spell out and make everything concise. Having the logo in the corner here, lining out the note layout, making it very simple. Stuff like this goes a long way. Just the attention to detail and being able to convey a message as quickly and as easily as possible to your customers and potential customers. I love the presentation on the bottles, going with the matte white bottles here. I love that. Everything just feels solid and things feels meaningful. I love the gold atomizers on these. And once again, these are 10 ml samples here. A beautiful thank you note, as well as information on their social media. These fragrances smell great. My favorite out of these is the Into Me for Her. That one is just beautiful. I love that. I'm a coffee lover. I love coffee fragrances. I've been leaning off drinking so much coffee as of late, but I love coffee in a fragrance, and this one is done well where the coffee isn't overpowering. I kind of wish it was a little bit more amped up. It's a nice amount of it present, but I kind of wish it had just a little bit more not too much. It's a little bit more on the coffee, but there's like this almost like a resinous honey or sweetness or agave sort of a vibe. There's something in there that comes off sweet, and it's beautiful the way it comes in with that almond, that coffee, that patchouli, that cocoa. Beautiful fragrance. Listen guys, I will drop a link in the description where you guys can check out these fragrances for yourself. Check out their website and see what they have to offer. I definitely recommend you try this one right here. This one is just absolutely gorgeous. And that is it for this video, you guys. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I will see you guys soon. Peace.